night to the AM. New multi-millionaires in the making. Big boss now, but it all took some patience. Rockstar life spread well across the nation. Give one chance, you know what I do to it. Whole team get money and I'm used to it. Beat the odds and I'm still going used to it. Changing lives every day, you can YouTube it. Hold up, it's on when it's short. You know I stay down, stuck around for the glow up. And you can ask anybody around, yeah, they know us. We can't stop now, cause the grind is never over. Hey, hey, y'all the top of lifestyle, give life.
I keep coming on. I don't know if I'm on or live or not. I don't know, because I saw the music going back and forth. I saw the clock going back and forth. So I don't know. If somebody text me and say, you hear me, that I am live and we good to go. Because I really don't know. I'm looking. Am I live? Let's go. Let's go. Somebody text me. I think I am. I'm live. Okay, good. All right, so good morning, everybody. This is Tony Fleming. This is our Saturday morning training, Tava training. And we got some great guest speakers this morning. And we want to jump right into it because we want to make sure that we get you off here in a timely manner. And so let me introduce our first speaker today. She's from Houston, Texas. She's an executive director, sharp individual. I heard her speak about a month ago down in Houston. And I thought about, man, she has a presence. And I like for you all to hear her. Some of y'all, most of y'all know her, but is the executive, Miss Tammy Durden. Are you on the? There you go.
I am here.
All right, she's here. She's ready to go with her Tava gear on, and
whoop, whoop.
Boy, look good. Got the hair. What they say? Hair did. Got the hair did. So you ready to go? So what are you going to talk about today?
Today, I am going to talk about the power of edification, Tony. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Well, look, I'm going to move out the way because we want to do this in a timely manner. Give us about 15, 20 minutes. You can go 20 of your best stuff. So you ready?
20 of my best. I am ready. Let's go.
I'm out of here then. We'll be back.
Well, great morning, Tava Nation. Listen, I am so excited to be on this training today. Great morning. Got to give it back to Mr. Tony Fleming, who is absolutely incredible, doing an amazing job with this training. Dr. Bramwell on the back end, just making it happen. So excited. Definitely got to give it up to the CEO and founders, the visionaries of Tava, Mr. Kenny Lloyd and Mrs. Shante Lloyd, my diamond leader, Mr. Clavon Damu Browning, the godmother herself who sponsored me into this incredible opportunity. Listen, I'm so excited. But today's training, let's get into today's training. Now, today we're going to talk about the power of edification. If you've been in this business any length of time, this business, this industry, you heard about edification. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about, first of all, what does edification mean? We hear about it. Sometimes we do it. We really don't understand it. Edify means to uplift, to simply to talk good about somebody. It means to say good stuff. It means to give them recognition, to highlight their accomplishments, to edify. In other words, you're saying good, positive things about somebody. Now, one of the biggest things that you want to know, why edification is important, right? So we know we're supposed to edify. We're supposed to talk about good things about people. But why is it so important? Edification gives credibility. Edification gives credibility. So think about this. Have you ever gone to purchase a product? Maybe you saw an advertisement on social media about a product, a clothing item, but you never purchased from that particular company. You're kind of wondering, okay, is this really good quality? So what do? You go and you get reviews. You take a look and see, what are they saying about this product? Is it really good? Are they saying good things about it? So once you take a look at those reviews and you see people are saying good things about it, what does that do? It adds credibility. So that's what edification does when we say good things about people. Now, so we know what edification is. We know why it's important. So who do we edify? Let's talk about that. Who do we edify? Edify your leadership, whether it's your upline, your sideline. You always want to say good things about them. Maybe you have a three-way call that you need to get done. Before making that three-way call, you definitely want to edify. Say some amazing things about your upline. Say some incredible things about your sideline. Yes, you can do three-way calls with your sideline. Say some good things about them, okay? Not only that, you can edify the company. Tava is an amazing company. We should always be saying some great things about the company. Tava is amazing. The products are amazing. Edify the owners. If you haven't already, when you let people know that Tava is Black owned, when I get the responses from that, people are wowed. They are immediately ready to support. Edify your owners, our visionaries, Mr. Kenny Lloyd and Mrs. Shante Lloyd. They are legends in this industry. Say great things. You definitely want to edify the company and edify our owners and visionaries. Who else should we edify? Edify corporate leadership. Of course, Mr. Kevin Harris, Ms. Lachelle Pierre, they do an incredible job with, keeping the ark afloat. You definitely want to say great things about them. Edify corporate leadership. Now, you also want to edify events and calls. Now, we have a major event coming up on March 4th and 5th in Houston, Texas, the International Convention with Tava. You want to edify. Say some good things. Say some amazing things about that event. Tell people, listen, if you were in Atlanta, you haven't seen anything, because that March convention is going to blow your mind. You got to edify it. You got to make it big. You got to make it grand. You got to make it amazing, so people will know, hey, this is something big. This is something great that I want to be a part of. Not only that, we talk about edifying, saying good things, great things, uplifting. Edify calls. three-way calls, you know, or the opportunity calls. You want to edify those opportunity calls. If you don't feel good about it, if you're not saying anything good about those opportunity calls, how do you think you're going to get people to the calls? So you got to edify, edify, edify. Man, this information that you're about to hear on this call, it is going to change your life. It is going to change your business. You got to get on here. You got to listen to what's being said. So edify people, edify events, and you'll begin to see your business go to the next level. So now we talked about what edification is. We talked about who, you know, we should edify. We talked about what edification does. It lends and brings credibility. So now let's talk about some benefits of edification. Somebody out there might be saying, what's in it for me, right? Well, a couple of different ways that benefits happen when you edify. First of all, it edifies, it benefits the edifier. So the person that's giving edification to someone, guess what? You benefit from it. Why? Because now you're seen as a positive person, as a positive influence, because you're saying good things about somebody else. That's amazing. You also benefit as the edifier because it sets you up as a leader. Now people see you on the stage, introducing someone, saying good things about somebody else. And so now you're seen as a leader. Not to mention, you're seen as a storyteller and a speaker because you're out front and you're casting a vision about somebody else. When you begin to edify and you're saying good things, you're painting a picture. You're painting a picture of who this person is. You're painting a picture of what this event is all about. You know, say some great things and begin to paint an image in someone else's mind and when you begin to edify. Now, you look big, you look great because you're a positive influence. You're setting the atmosphere with all this electric positive energy. You benefit. Now, of course, the person that's being edified, they definitely benefit. This is how the person being edified benefits. It sets them up as an authority or an expert. So now you're talking about this person's accomplishments. You're talking about their experiences, how amazing and how great they are. And so the person edified now, they look like the expert or authority because you're talking about the amazing things that they've already done. Now people are saying, I think I want to hear what this person has to say. They've done all of this. I want to hear them. Not only that, when we talk about the benefits of edification, when you edify someone else, it helps people to connect with them. Because remember, you're telling a snapshot of their story. You're telling some amazing things about them. Maybe in the edification, you're saying they're an amazing mom. They're an incredible grandmother. You know, they came from being homeless to millionaire status, or whatever you say about them as a part of their story, a glimpse of their story, that's going to allow the person that you're speaking to, the audience that you're speaking to connect with them on some level. Okay. So now that person is being seen as an authority or expert. The audience can connect with them now because you said something in that edification that resonates with them. Now, the third benefit, it makes it easier to close the deal because you have a connection. They're set up as the expert and you can quickly and easily close the deal. Why? Because you've done proper edification. Now, let's talk a little bit more. So we've talked about what edification is, why it's important. Who do we edify? We've talked about these things. Now, there are some things that I want to share with you about how to properly edify. Let's take a look at that for a moment. How do you properly edify? As you can see on here, I have a whole lot of excitement and enthusiasm, right? I'm very passionate about this. I'm passionate about this. When you edify someone, you've got to have excitement and enthusiasm. You got to have some passion behind what you're saying. You got to have some great positive energy. I remember being at an event one time and the speaker was being introduced. If I personally knew the speaker, I knew how amazing that speaker was. That's why I showed up at that event, just to hear that speaker. And however, the person that was introducing the speaker and was to edify in that introduction gave a very low-key, bland introduction, something like that, this. They were mumbling, well, I'm just going to bring on the next speaker, and you want to grab a pen and pad because it's some good information about to come forth. She's from Decatur, Georgia. Now, who would get excited about hearing a speaker with somebody using a monotone voice? They're halfway mumbling. There's no excitement, there's no enthusiasm, right? So if we are edifying someone, whether it is at an event, if it is for a three-way call, when we're saying good things about that person, when we're introducing them, right? We want to be enthusiastic. You want to have some great positive energy. You want to be sincere about it, because remember, everybody can tell a phony a mile away, right? So you got to have the right energy. How many of you know that everything is energy? Somebody type that in the comments. Everything is energy. It absolutely is. And so you want to make sure that you have the appropriate energy, Misha Green. You definitely want to be excited, Jack. You definitely want to make sure that you are giving the right energy out when you are edifying. So now, in our training today, we've talked about some amazing things. One time the last time I did this training, I actually did the training, and I got a note from someone later, and she said, thank you for this training, because we always hear about edify, edify, edify. And I do it, but I really didn't understand why. So now I hope you have an understanding of why it's so important to edify, who we need to edify, the benefits of it. Now let's get down to some nitty-gritty points here. 5 points of edification. Okay, you ready, Christian? 5 points of edification. Here we go. When you edify, there are 5 things that you always want to incorporate and include in that edification. Okay. Number 1, documented in the business. You want to include that person is documented in the business. That includes their achievements, their experiences. You want to include that in your edification. So let's say, for example, I am edifying my amazing upline and sponsor that brought me into the business, Ms. Dorothy Cook. Okay. So remember, with these 5 points, it doesn't have to be in this exact order. It doesn't have to be verbatim, but you always want to make sure that you incorporate this as a part of the story, because remember, you're painting a picture for this person. Okay. So number 1, documented in the business. Here we go, Ms. Nina Rochelle Moore. Now, if I'm speaking about Ms. Dorothy Cook, and I want to talk about she's documented in the business, her achievements, her experiences, I'm going to say, as I begin to introduce her as a part of the edification, listen, I have the honor and distinction tonight to introduce a woman that I have an incredible amount of respect for. She has achieved massive amounts of success in this business. She's been successful over 20 years. She's actually created 21 millionaires in this industry. They call her the godmother. She's the millionaire maker. Okay. So do you see how I just said some amazing things? So Kimberly, if I began to say some amazing things like that about the godmother, would you be a little intrigued to listen to or hear what she had to say? Of course you would. That's some amazing things. She created 21 millionaires. Okay, I definitely want to hear what she has to say. So document it in this business. Now, number 2, you always want to include knows 100% of the facts. Again, it doesn't have to be verbatim, Ray. It really doesn't, but you want to include it. Knows 100% of the facts. So now I'm still edifying the godmother, Dorothy Cook. So now I want to say, You know, she has created 21 millionaires in this industry. And I tell you what, she has 100% of the information that you want to hear tonight. Okay, so see how I said it? I didn't say 100% of the facts, so you can put your spin on it however you want to do it. But remember, have passion, excitement, enthusiasm, and it will be amazing. Now, number three, the third thing that you always want to include in your edification is knows how to make money, right? We all want to know how to make money. So, how would I incorporate that, Tequila, in my points of edification? Knows how to make money. I tell you what, Miss Dorothy Cook, she is a seven-figure earner in this industry, and she definitely knows how to make money. There you go. So that's a quick plug that you can put in the edification to make sure that you're getting it in, that she knows how to make money. Number four, loves to have fun. We all want to make money and have fun, right? So how would I use that in my edification? Loves to have fun. Okay, here we go. Miss Dorothy Cook, I tell you what, she knows how to make money, of course, as a seven-figure earner in this industry. She loves to have fun and make money all at the same time. That's a winning combination. Okay, so see how I just added that in there? So you can use the points to build on each other to create a beautiful story as you edify that person. All right, so CEO Panya, what do we do next? The fifth and final thing is you want to mention totally committed to helping others achieve success. Totally committed to helping others achieve success. So you're going to add that in there. So in edifying the godmother, Miss Dorothy Cook, I'm going to say, you know, and the thing that I absolutely love about Miss Dorothy Cook is she loved to help people win. Okay. So as you notice, I didn't say help others achieve success, but I just reworded a little bit. She loves to help other people win. So if I wrap this whole thing up, Tezra, and I put it all together using all 5 points of the edification, running back through that really quickly, I'm edifying the godmother. And I say, I am honored and excited to bring on the stage tonight a woman that I have an incredible amount of respect for. We call her the godmother, the millionaire maker. She has created over 21 millionaires in this industry, a seven-figure earner. She knows how to make money. She loves to have fun while she's doing it. And I tell you what I love about her is that she always helps people win. She loves helping people win and has 100% of the information you want to hear tonight. Edification, all 5 points woven in together, paint a great story about that person. So as I wrap up training on this morning, I challenge you today to activate the power of edification. If you haven't been doing it, if you haven't been doing it right, today, starting today, activate the power of edification. Why? Remember, people are more inclined to say yes. When you edify, it's going to create an environment, an atmosphere of positive energy. You're going to get cooperation. You're going to foster great relationships with people. So today, I challenge you, activate the power of activation, the power of edification, and you'll see your business go to the next level. I'm Tammy Durden. Thank you.
All right. Don't go anywhere. Hold on. We might have some questions in the chat to see if anybody has any questions there. Let's go. That was a great job, Tammy. Let me see if I can reintroduce you. All right.
Let's go.
Man, I got Miss Tammy Durden here this morning. Man, she's documented in this business. She's executive director. Now, I know some people say I'm kind of teaching as I do this too. Some people say, well, how can I say that if they ain't really made any money? Well, if they made a check, that means you're documented. Yeah. Right. So you don't have to, that's not a lie. You just documented. She's documented in this business. I'm going to tell you something about Tammy too. She loves to have fun. And y'all do me a favor, please laugh at her jokes, because her jokes are kind of, but she loves to have fun. So make sure you laugh at her jokes. She knows 100% of the facts. I mean, 100%. She knows. You just wait. If you want to hang around and ask her questions or whatever, she knows 100% of the facts. She loves helping people. I mean, I've seen her go out of her way to help individuals. And most of all, which is the last one?
100% of the information.
I did that. So that's it.
That's it.
Okay. So y'all heard is help 100% of the information. So what it does is it's talking about the personalities. The helper is the whale. 100% of information is the sea urchin. That's the fact person. Documented is the money person. And fun is the dolphin person. So when she does that, she's touching all four personalities. So please, let's make sure we do those things. I mean, I know some people say, I want to do mine this way. I want to do mine that way. Let's just do it this way. I mean, I think that touches everybody, right?
You're absolutely right.
All right. So any questions? Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this too. Why do you think people kind of fight that edification? Because a lot of, this is the teacher in me, because I'm more of a teacher than anything. So I kind of try to find solutions or at least come up with reasons why. Because I know a lot of people, we've told them to do this kind of edification. We've talked to them about it, but for some reason, they won't do it. For some of us, why do you think?
I think that for some reason, people don't find the value in it. They know it's something that they're told to do, but they don't understand the value of edification and, you know, just the energy it creates, the credibility it adds to anything. And a lot of people just, yeah. And then another thing I found, Tony, just to be totally honest, a lot of people like talking about themselves. Right. And they like talking about themselves, and they're not used to talking good about somebody people.
Else. It's kind of hard to give it up to somebody else.
Yeah.
Especially too, if you are, you know, you and your upline or you and your up, y'all kind of don't, you might feel like you better than that person. It doesn't matter. This is marketing, folks. You got to market because people are marketing to us every day. When you go in stores, you better believe that the music that's playing in stores is for a reason, to get you to buy. When you go to different department stores, you go in different sections, like the ladies department is different music. The men's department is different music. It's marketing. Commercials are marketing. We must market also. And edification is one of the key ways of marketing. You have to, because think about it. If I'm a super busy person, you can't call me and say, hey, Tony, I want you to talk to Tammy, and she pretty cool. I'll be like, I ain't trying to hear that.
Right.
Now, if you go through those 4 steps, like, man, you look, I consider this an honor that she even is available to get on the phone, and she's documented, and now it's going to put the brakes on for me to say, you know, I might want to talk to her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, so we gotta rattle people because people are so busy. There's so many distractions. And if you don't edify a person, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to. Let me ask you this too before you go. Do you prefer edification while you're on the phone or before you get on the phone? Because there's 2 different ways to look at it.
Right. I prefer edification before getting on the phone.
Right.
Right. So you already set the conversation up prior to me getting on the line.
Right.
And I think that,
yeah, some people want to hear them do it because they don't believe they did it the right way. But I'm uncomfortable with them doing it on the line while I'm there. It just kind of feels kind of corny to me. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people make sure they do it because they don't trust that they did it before. Now, you can easily find out if edification was done by the way that the person listens to you. Because if they interrupt and don't really care about the conversation, that means that your person did not edify you. Because if they edified you, they will give you respect.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. I mean, you have to, and as a leader, if you've trained your business partner in edification, you got to have trust. You got to have trust that they're doing it the right way. But as you said, the results are going to show up. If you're not getting the due respect and things, there are signs that you can see and know that edification was not.
It's not been done.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, we wind up edifying our prospect more than us sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That's not what's supposed to be done. We have to do this, and that was great. We're going to be doing this edification thing on a regular basis because this is actually our 4th week of training. So we're going to start over next week with the beginning, and we're going to go through all 4 weeks again and all 4 weeks again. Now, we're going to be adding new stuff because you need to have new stuff, but you also, repetition is key, and you got to hear this stuff over and over and over and over to get it. And that's why we got it on PowerPoint, and we'll have somebody else doing it. I don't know if they're going to beat Tammy in doing it, but, you know, we'll have somebody else doing it. So thank you again, ma'am, and don't leave us now. You got to come back at the end with your question, because this is the last week of the contest for the hoodies, and we need to get these points done. So now, all right, I want to bring on my next speaker, a young man that when I first met, I knew right away that he was knowledgeable. I knew he had experience. I knew that his conversation was, you know, very interesting. You knew that he knew what he was talking about. He's a diamond in the company. He's a day one guy like myself. We all started day one. I mean, you know, when nobody believed, and still a lot of people don't believe now. But we, you know, keep watching and watch what's happened next year and the year after that. We only a baby, only 2 years old, but this guy is documented. You know, he loves to have fun. Man, he's helping a whole lot of people, and for sure he knows 100% of the facts. And he got his Tava gear on, baby. That's right. That's right. He bringing it to the table. You got to represent, folks. I got, you know, hold on. So make sure y'all see. You got to represent now. You know what I'm saying? He representing.
What's up, Tony?
We got Mr. Clavon Browning on here. Now, look, we're going to kind of go back and forth today. We got a PowerPoint up. I hope both of us can be on here. My engineer, Dr. Nicole, can both of us be on and the PowerPoint? There you go. There you go. So bring it up, because me, you know, Clavon and I, we're going to kind of go back and forth with this PowerPoint. Here's the honest truth. He doesn't even know what's on it. That's how bad he is. That's how he just said, bring it, man. Whatever you put on there, I got it. So this is his first time even seeing this. And so I'm going to kind of role play, interview with him, and let him talk a little bit. We talk a little bit. So we got about 25 minutes to do this. And then we got a person that's going to come on at the end for 5 minutes that's going to rock y'all world in 5 minutes. I promise you that. So let's get started with the slide. I'm going to ask you this question, man.
Okay.
Tell me, what's the difference between a recruiter and a builder?
Oh, that's $1 million question, partner. Can you hear me clearly?
You know, I hear you, and I heard Tammy. Both of you all sound low to me. I don't know if it's my phone, because I turned my phone. I'm on my phone today. I turned it up. I don't know if it's, as long as everybody.
Hey, can you guys hear me clearly out there? Let me just check the chat. Oh, okay. So they're saying that I'm good, Tony.
Okay. All right. So
well, here's the deal. That's the $1 million question. A recruiter sits down with a prospect and goes through the process and has the prospect pick a package. And after picking that package, the recruiter gets a fast start bonus. A builder does not stop. A builder knows that this process is not over. Picking the package was number one. Getting them on the proper smart ship, 120 points, number two. Getting them binary qualified, number three. Plugging them into the system, number four. You know, giving them mindset training and trying to turn their 2 into 4. A builder has a mindset that in network marketing, you go wide for profit and you go deep for stability. So a builder knows you got to go 1, 2, 3 levels deep. You got to tap root each leg for stability. A builder is building for the future. A recruiter is just hustling, bringing people in and not giving them anything that they need to truly sustain.
You know, and let me add a little bit to that too, because I always said a recruiter is more of a salesperson. A builder is more of a person who's going to build relationships and go deep into the organization. You know, it's not a bad thing to be a recruiter or a builder. I think a builder, in my opinion, is the one that's going to make the most money. Now, but here's the thing: a recruiter and a builder can work together if they do it right. I used to tell people all the time. I know recruiters. Those are car salesmen. Those are people who can come in and they can hard sell you and get you in the system. Now, I used to tell recruiters all the time. I tell you what, you go get them, you come bring them back, put them on the step. I'll take them from there, and then you go get some more. Because a recruiter is really not going to develop a person. A recruiter is not going to go deep in the organization. A recruiter is going to go get some people and say, now you go do it because I did it. And that's a mindset of a recruiter, because they think, you know, I've seen recruiters come in, they'll do 20 people in a week, in a day. And they'll wind up quitting later on because those 20 people didn't do what they did. And they didn't realize that those 20 people are not like them. They need to be developed. They need to be worked on. And so a builder, if a recruiter and a builder can work together, man, you really have something. But a lot of times recruiters' ego get in the way, because they go, man, I recruited 20 people. I'm like, okay, so what are they doing? You know, the thing is, we have to work those two people together, because a builder is not going to recruit as many as a recruiter, but a builder is going to go deep, and a builder is going to help those people go deep. And you know, a builder is going to be there to answer their questions.
You know, one thing, Tony, and everybody should make a note. You know, I pride myself on being a builder, but you want to know one of the biggest pitfalls for builders? We can slip into management mode.
Exactly. Yep.
And you know, as a network marketer, you know, you want to build for 3 to 6 months, but it's important that you pull yourself back and get into phase 1,
right,
where you are actually in recruiting mode. And so many of us who've been here for a year or two, we don't realize it, but we're actually in management mode.
Exactly.
We're not in the same zone we were in our first 90 days. So builders have to remind themselves to get back into phase 1 activity.
That's so true, man. You can get so caught up in trying to take these 5 people and help develop them that you stop bringing other people in. You know, now a builder is not still going to out recruit a recruiter. I can just tell you that. But there are some people that are special, and those are 1%ers that really do both. And that's a rarity. You don't see too many like that, but there are people who do it. But a good point. The builder must continue to stay in phase 1, even while he's going deep and, you know, helping develop, you know, maybe traveling to these locations and, you know, helping people get going. You know, a builder has that mindset of going deep, but you do need to make that point that you have to also stay in phase 1 also to do that. All right. So the next thing is, when it comes to recruiting, the next slide says, maybe my person is taking notes and they're not. The next slide says,
is there a doctor now?
My engineer, are you there? There we go. Okay. All right. So when you get started, you have to make a decision that you're going to go out and recruit. It's a must that you develop that skill to go out and recruit. Now, one of the challenges is people do not want to deal with rejection. And that's the biggest challenge. That's why 95% of people wind up quitting, because they do not want to go through that process. And a lot of times, you know, one of the challenges that we have, Clayvon, is that we bring people in on the product. They love the product. And then we say, hey, you ought to want to make some money. And now we're trying to take a kind of like a great customer to get them to go out and deal with rejection. And they kind of not really ready for it. So you have to have that mindset that you're ready to recruit. What do you say about that?
Oh, well, this is no joke. I don't work with a person without giving them mindset training.
Man,
you know, when I came into this industry, Tony, it was all about mindset. Listen, real quick, you can't afford for your new distributor to go on an emotional roller coaster. You can't afford for your new distributor to get knocked out the box because of their friends and family not supporting them. You know, Tony, I say like this: let new people go out there and focus on customer acquisition, because there's less rejection and leaning on relationships and asking people to try products. Recruiting, building is another beast. So you got to take your time with that. I don't like to throw a person out to the wolves and have them focusing on recruiting, because they're going to meet much more rejection. So here's the deal. You got to teach people not to take the no's personally. And you teach your team that network marketing is a statistical numbers game. It's all about numbers. You got to go through 35 no's just to get 5 to 7 yeses. And when they realize it's a numbers game that every one of us goes through, then they can learn not to take it personally. Tony, let me just talk about this word decide. Because for most people reading it, it's just a word and it's cliche. When you make a decision, you become bulletproof. Because nothing external, no one's negativity, no dream stealers, no haters, nobody saying no to you, nothing can stop a human being that has a definiteness of purpose, and they've decided that they're going to get this thing done. And when you make that decision, man, it's spiritual, man. It's like the universe starts working with you to make this thing happen. So, you know, Tony, nothing's more important than a decision and the whole concept of mindset. You got to be bulletproof when you're in a people building business. And, you know, it's just so important.
Yeah, and like you said, the people that come in first, you got to hug on them and just talk that mindset stuff to them and let them know these things are going to happen. That's why I put the books in front of them. I make sure they read them, asking them questions. Now, like you said, let them get a few customers. But if they go out there in that war zone and talk to mama, dad, and sister, brother, which the first thing they usually do, and they get shot down, you don't see them anymore. They done, because they cannot take those bullets. You know, for me, fortunately, when I came into the industry, I had 10 years of sales background. So I had the worst things said to me. I've had all kind of stuff said to me. So when I came on board, I was kind of used to that. But I noticed that most people didn't. And I see some, you know, recruiters who think that people should be like them, and they're not. They're not. They don't have that tough skin. They don't have that. But you can develop those people if you spend time with them and help them, and, you know, work on that mindset, work on that mental toughness to let them know that don't run out here right now and talk about the business and all this, because you're going to get shot down. You know, let's talk about some more stuff. Let's try to stick together. Man, we can go on this subject here for a long time, but we got to move on. So let's talk about the next slide. My engineer there. Okay, there we go. She's on page now. Listening and asking questions is very important. And I'm telling you, man, I talk about this all the time. A lot of us quit. We don't want any foreplay when it comes to business. As soon as we sit down with somebody, whether it's the product or the business, we top of this, top of that, top. Let me tell you about this. No, you got to do a little, you know, listening and asking questions, a little foreplay. You gotta, you know, hey, find out about the person. Because see, you can ask enough questions and they'll answer and give you all the ammunition you need to. But if you don't ask those questions, you know, where you from, you know, as soon as I get on the phone with a person, that's it. How, you know, where you from? If you don't mind me asking, what do you do for a living? How long you been doing that? And have you ever done a business like this before? And what do you think about it? And they say, yeah, I have. I said, why do you think, did you have success? They say, no. I said, well, why do you think you didn't have success? Well, now when I hear this, I know it's a problem. I already know it's a problem when I hear this. And they say, I didn't get enough support. See, that's some on them. And I already know they're going to use that again later on. So I'm going to support them enough to where I already know when they say that question, honestly, and I'm not saying everybody, but honestly, that's something on them when they say they didn't get enough support. Because most people, you get enough support, you just don't follow through. But But what do you think about asking these questions and how important it is in the beginning to build that relationship?
You know, Tony, all the greatest network marketers that I've ever sat at their feet, they were masters of asking probing questions. And they would do it with so much rhythm. I want everyone on here just to try it. I mean, you can ask a person questions for 30 minutes straight. And when your posture and your diplomacy and your style, it'll flow so smooth because people want to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
And Tony, tell me this. Have you ever, Tony, asked a person so many questions, they told you exactly what you needed to say to them to close them?
They did
To
it.
pique their interest, to recruit them, to close them. Guys, master asking probing questions and listen, and the person will tell you exactly what they need. And let me leave you with this when it comes to listening. There's 3 types of listening. You want to listen with a level of empathy, where you are deeply connected to the person if you want them to be transparent and you want them to keep opening up. You want to be very attentive when you're listening, where you can repeat things back to them as they are speaking. You don't want to be listening while you're multitasking. You don't want to have dismissive listening. You want to be locked in, attentive, reflective, and empathetic listening. And people can feel that. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And you show that passion by listening, by asking probing questions, even taking notes. And then you can flip that information back to the person to either pique their interest or close them.
Right. You have to. Now, there are certain situations I want to explain to you all too, and you got to have a feel for this as you go along. There are certain situations where you're asking questions and people kind of get intimidated. You could tell, and I bag off because I realize then they think I'm trying to do something. But that's few and far between. But you got to know when to stop, because sometimes people think you're digging for other reasons, and what you're trying to do is trying to find a place that you can start a conversation with and know exactly where they are. And I'm gonna tell you this last thing. The reason I learned this was like 15, 17 years ago. I remember sitting down with a guy that I met, and we were just having a conversation, and he had time to listen. This was a guy I met that was just sitting in a restaurant. I happened at that time, during that time, he had the flip chart. So I sat down with him. I did not ask him enough questions. I did not really. So as I was going through the presentation, I was talking about the products, I was talking about everything. And I was talking about how, these natural products, a lot of times, physicians and doctors don't understand it because they're not trained on that, and they don't get it sometimes. And so as I was going through that, and I kind of was beating up doctors. And at the end, when I finished, I said, so what do you do for a living? He said, well, I'm a physician. I said, I said, oh, really? He started laughing. He said, I understand you. I understand, because I was killing doctors in the whole presentation. And I said after that, this was years ago, I said, I'm going to find out up front. I'm going to talk. I'm going to find them, ask questions. And I also ask people who refer me to talk to somebody the same questions I'm going to ask that. I just want to know before I get started. So
and you know what, Tony?
Kind of say.
You know what goes great with listening is telling stories. The better you listen, I mean, we all know that facts, tell, but stories sell. The more I listen to a prospect, the more I'm able to tell small stories that really touch their heart and their interest. So listening is a prerequisite for being a great storyteller to that prospect, telling stories about the company, the industry, finding out their personality type. Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Next slide. Let's go. Make friends. Now, this is kind of a situation. I mean, this is something I really want to explain to you, because when you start a business and you make friends, you have, business ships, like friendships, but business ships, because you got commission ships. You got a lot of different ships. Everybody that you meet and become friends in the business are not really friends. They're business friends. That's where we miss it. It's not like we got our lifelong friends that was with us through elementary and high school and all that. Because a lot of times when people leave the business, or a lot of times when folks break up, folks like, man, you done killed your friendship. You didn't. Well, they really wasn't friends before they got into business. I mean, it's not like we were going to be hanging out after that. So a lot of friends that we make are friends through the business. And I remember hearing the two guys from Houdini. I can't think of one of them has passed. Well, I think the one who passed, the light-skinned guy, was it Rapper Jalil or the other guy? But he said,
I think the lead. I think the lead.
That's the light-skinned guy, right?
Yeah, they used to wear the hat.
Yeah, I think that's the one who passed, right? Yeah. And so he said that he met Robert Jalil. I think that was Ecstasy who passed, when they were 22, 23, when they started Houdini. He said, because they were saying, y'all not really hanging out anymore. He said, well, we really wasn't friends before that. It wasn't like this was my high school friend, but these were friends. We became friends in this business. So a lot of times when that business is not going the way you want it, or people leave the business and you say, well, you ain't friends with them no more. Well, we really wasn't friends then. That's what you got to understand. It was just a relationship that you started in the business. That's what it was. And that's why you see that sometimes when people leave and they don't, you got these people that used to be friends with you. No, they were friends in the business with me. They started in the business with me. I didn't know them before that. And so you got to kind of understand that we are going to make friends, but it's different types of friends that you actually make in this business. What's your input on that?
Two things, Tony. Number one, the definition of leadership. Leadership is the ability to make people do what you want and need them to do willingly. So I want to give you guys that again. Leadership is the ability to have others do what you want and need them to do willingly, with the key word being willingly. And that comes from being likable. I think enough leaders don't understand how important it is for your team to like you. Yeah, we want to be respected. We want to be honored. We want people to be coachable. We want to have all this integrity. Listen, likability is just too underrated. You have to have a pleasing personality, because people will come into this business for money, but they'll stay for the feeling. They'll weather the storms for the feeling. Business partners come and go. But
right.
but if there's a bond, we can call it friendship. We can call it a business ship. The bottom line is they will weather the storms if there's a sincere connection and they know that you care and things of that nature. So just remember, in order to inspire people to do things willingly, they gotta not just respect you, but don't underestimate how important it is for people to like you. And as far as relationships, you may need those relationships 2-3 years down the road, because you may find yourself in another season and another business platform, and you want to be able to call these people and be able to offer opportunities, and they look at you with respect and love because you built strong bonds. Relationships are everything.
Right. Let's go with one more slide. Then we're gonna bring on our we got a few more, but okay, habits. Develop positive daily habits. Now that's something that a routine that a person needs to come up with every single day that's positive. I don't know what everybody routines is, but I know for me, when I get up every morning, I'm gonna read something. If it's not Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when I get up, I'm jumping on my mindset call that I do. If I wasn't on the mindset call, I'll still be working on my mind. I'll be reading something. I'll do a prayer. I'll do those things. And then for me, I go to the gym. Now, some of you all have jobs, so you whatever routine you have, you got to work around that. But I go to the gym, I come home, and then I start making calls during the day. But my routine is pretty much that way. And I do, I also have my schedule in front of me that I check off every single day. And you decide on what your goal is for that day too. If it's talk to 5 people, is it talk to 3? Is it inbox a certain? But you got to have those habits that you do every single day.
Absolutely. You know, so many people always complain about life happening to them. And you know, life is supposed to happen for you. You know, like you're not supposed to be a leaf blowing in the wind. You know, people complain, this happened, you know, victim mentality, life happens to you. But you want to get to the point where life unfolds for you, it happens for you. And that's really based on discipline. And this is a great topic here because 97% of human behavior is habitual. And you got to develop healthy habits. That's when you become like, you know, a master of your fate. It's through disciplined, healthy habits that lead you to physical transformation, personal growth and development, goals and dreams being accomplished, you know, making money. It's all habit. None of this stuff happens by chance. Your spiritual life, your prayers, exercise, you know, the way you build your business. That's why people have these big boards in their offices so they can, you know, have time management and create habits that are going to fulfill their goals. So I think that this is probably the best way to close out because it's the most important thing that you develop that habit. Don't freestyle through life. Develop routines. That's what all the multimillionaires and billionaires do. They have routines, eating routines, how they groom themselves, you know, who they speak to at what times, casual time. It's a structure. Live life with structure. And if you don't want to be that rigid, just do it for 90 days. You know, do it for 6 months, a habitual structured life, and see how much progress you make. You'll accomplish more in 6 months than you did in the last 2 years, just by having healthy habits and you stick to them through discipline.
You know, I appreciate that, man. You know, we could talk all day. I'm going to stop it here because we got a bunch of more slides. And so what I'm going to try to do is commit to once a month where you and I go back and forth because we can put 100 of these things out here that could help people in what we do. And I tell you, he didn't know what I was putting out there. Clavon didn't know. We just put that together right quick. And I said, I'm going to throw it at him because I know he has the experience. He has the knowledge and he can just talk about any subject out here. So we're going to try to commit to that once a month where we get on here and just kind of go back and forth. But now I want to bring on, for the next 5 minutes, this lady's going to tell her story about her weight loss. Because, see, we got to get back into that because that's what this company is about. As of now, we have some tremendous weight loss stories. We have some tremendous health stories in our business. And this lady, Miss Leon, are you there? See, Miss Leon, are you there? Where is she? She's back there. There she is.
Yes, I am.
I mean, what is this hair day? You and Tammy, y'all decided to like do the same style hair today or something?
We represent well. We got to represent TOP and Tava well.
Okay. There you go. All right, I got you. So, look, when I first talked to you, and it's my bad because I didn't, you know, I guess you told your story a while back, and so I maybe missed it. And when we had a conversation, you never told me about the tremendous weight loss. I guess you're saying you should have known that, but I didn't. And then when I was talking to someone, they mentioned that. I said, wait a minute. I just got off the phone with her and she never told me about that. So then I called you back and I said, look, you got to get on here for the last 5 minutes and give us your story about your weight loss and what are you doing. And now you're from New York, right?
Yes, I am from New York. Yes,
New York City.
I'm back there. New York City. Yes.
Okay.
I am from New York City. And so first, Mr. Fleming, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share my story. Of course, I had to thank the amazing founders of the ARC, Mr. and Mrs. Kenny E. Lloyd, Miss Shantae, my dynamic leader, my diamond leader, Mr. Browning, and shout out to Queen Tammy Dirty for doing an amazing job on today's training as well. And so my story is simply this. I was someone who had lost weight before and I gained almost all of it back. And when I say almost all of it, almost 100 pounds back, and I felt defeated. I literally thought that I couldn't lose weight anymore. So here I am starting to tell myself, Sharita, get familiar with being overweight your entire life. And the truth is, there are so many other people that do the same exact thing. If you're in the chat and that's video and you see some hands in the chat, right? And so here I was I lost in total now over 80 pounds. Shout out to these amazing products, right? But I was stuck. And so what happened was my amazing leader, Mr. Browning, came and gave me a sample of the Vasia Detox Tea. And I didn't think it was going to work. I'm going to be honest with you, because I had tried so many different teas before. I was boiling stuff, steeping them, making a whole hot mess, and didn't really see much results. And so when I took the tea, and literally my first 7 days, I lost 9 pounds, my life was just like amazed from there. Because remember, Mrs. Fleming, I said I couldn't lose weight. So I was trying things, losing it, gaining back. And so that first 9 pounds that I lost in those 7 days brought my belief up. And for those of you that are watching that are in this organization, in this company, that is what your potential customers are thinking about. They're thinking right now that I can't lose any more weight. They're thinking they're stuck. And so when you have the bonus in a product like the Vasia, and you give a sample like Mr. Browning did to me, losing that first 5 to 10 pounds builds that belief back up. And that's what happened for me. And so I started to continue taking all of the products, and it gave me the ability to get more confidence. I now had accountability, right? Because we had an amazing team. We have our weight loss group. So now it wasn't just me taking a product to hopefully lose weight. Now it was a lifestyle change that I had to create for myself. There were things that I couldn't eat anymore. But the biggest thing, and you talk about this all the time, Mr. Fleming, is the mindset. I told myself that this is the journey that I'm on. This is my new lifestyle. So whether I lose 10 pounds in 10 days, I lose 100 pounds in a year or two, it doesn't matter how long it takes me, because this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And that's exactly what I did. I took the products, I changed my eating. I still eat what I wanted here and there. You know, I love my popcorn, but I make sure that I change it up. And then, of course, I started doing Muay Thai. I started doing Muay Thai, which is mixed martial arts, about 6 months ago. And it has helped me with the elasticity of my body, of course, burning more weight. But it really started with the decision to do it, the belief from losing the weight that first 7 days that I took the product. And now the rest is history.
Man. Now, so I know some of y'all listening saying, boy, I wish I could tell a story like that. Now, some of y'all have great stories. Now, I have to say that Miss Leon was trained under Les Brown, so she can say certain things, like she's really smooth with her. But it doesn't matter if you can't do it that way. As long as you can come on here and give a testimony, y'all please, you know, inbox me and tell me your testimony so we can have you on here every Saturday. The last 5 minutes of the program, we're going to have people come on with their testimonies of their weight loss or whatever thing that Tava has done to help you health-wise. You know, if you got a great story on that, please inbox me, because we're going to put you out here. Anything else you want to say, ma'am, before we wrap up?
Absolutely. I just want to say that the products work, but I want you all that are distributors to think about what your customers are going through. Someone that's out there like me who feels that they can't lose weight anymore, they need a sample. They'll be a believer. There's someone right now that needs to know they have support. Create your weight loss groups, create your communities, right? Create all these things for people to feel welcome. So that way, when the times do get tough and they don't want to eat healthy, or they feel like they can't lose any more weight, they have the support that's needed to help them become more accountable and stay consistent on the journey. And when people feel like you actually care about them and not just that dollar, they'll always come back and eventually become lifelong customers, and some even business partners. So once again, thank you for allowing me to share my story. I've lost over 80 pounds, but I must say 60 of those pounds came from after taking the products, and still 2 years later and a half, they still work. Back to you.
Wow. Wow. Don't go anywhere. Stay on. I don't know how can we bring everybody back on? Is it enough windows for that? Okay. I think we do. All right. So we're going to wrap up our 4-week training here. And I told everybody I was going to give tell Mr. Claiborne to pop back on. He probably over there puffing on a cigar or something, you know. Get him back on here.
He's team building right now. That's what he's doing.
But we got questions to ask. And so far, let me see who's leading the pack. Because I said, let me see if y'all remember this. How many hoodies did I say I was going to give out? Who remember that? Let me see here. Let me see if I get my count right. Somebody in the chat tell me how many did I say I was going to give out? There he is. There he got the cigar. I know he's puffing on. So tell me, who in the chat? Where's the chat? I don't see anything. Anybody responded? How many did I say I was going to give out at the end of 4 weeks? Somebody saying 4. I didn't say 4. 5. I didn't say. Boy, I can't ask y'all questions. I think I said 2. I said the top 2 points. I think I said that. I didn't say 5. 5.
Someone said 2 earlier on.
Yeah, I think it's 2. So let me tell you where we are right now. We got Sonia with 10 points, Dr. Tolliver with 5, Jazzy with 5, James Keys with 5, Nikki with 5, Don Fields with 10, Rachel with 5, and Pamela Boutte with 5. So here's the thing. If Sonia gets an answer today and Don Fields gets an answer today, that'll put y'all 2 as the top. Unless, everybody else just gets the rest of the answers, which probably won't happen. So let's see here. Let's make sure y'all on. So now, Tammy, give them a question and they got to answer that question of something that you said. What's the answer to that question?
All right, here we go. So it's kind of fill in the blank. Edification gives what to the person being edified? Edification gives what to the person being edified? What's that key word? Come on, light up the chat.
All right. We can only go by the first one we see. I know somebody said, well, mine was already in there.
I see Shay Ortiz said credibility.
Is that the answer?
That's the answer.
All right, so Shay gets 5 points. Okay, now, if Shay gets the next 2, she could actually win. All right, so Clavon, give us a question from what we just talked about that they can answer.
Okay. What is the main reason why you want to? Oh, what's the difference between a recruiter and a builder?
There we go. Who's in the chat?
We need some music.
I know. I said that. I'm gonna do that. Ding, 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 ding.
No, we need the real music.
Oh, this is real music. Okay. Needs a Lil Wayne. I got you. We're gonna have some music.
We gotta get you a budget.
You're right. So anybody answer? Recruiter for money and builder follows through. Is that what you would go with?
Nah, that's light. That's light, but no, I need more depth.
Okay. A builder is deep in. What's a recruiter? You gotta have the difference. Longevity. Recruiter stop after fast start.
But if she would have added
builder,
the second part, it could have been on point there.
Relationship. Y'all just typing fast. Come on now. Give me a little more detail.
And you got the difference.
Recruiter gets people in and developer is the builder.
I like that one.
Okay. We got to go with that one then. That's Darlene. Who was that? Hendrick or Hedrick? Okay, Darlene gets that one. That's 5 points. All right.
All right, Darlene.
So pretty much that's it. I tell you what, Ms. Leon, do you have a question that maybe something you said that maybe they can answer?
Sure. How much weight did I say I lost in my first 7 days?
Okay. First 7 days. She got 9. Is it 9?
That's right.
So Rashida was first. Rashida had 9, so she gets 5 points. But that means nobody caught Sonia and no one caught Don Fields. So those are the 2 winners. They get the I don't have a hoodie around me, but y'all know the hoodies, like the one that Miss Tammy Dirt has on. That one. You get that in black or white. So you're gonna have to inbox me and tell me your size and what color you want. That's Don Fields and Miss Sonia. Is it Sonia? What's it? Sonia Wilson? I think she answered the first. She answered on here. I just got Sonia on here, but Sonia, you know who I'm talking about. So y'all inbox me which color you want and what size you are, and then I'll ship it out to you wherever you are. So I appreciate you guys, man. That's it for today. We've gone over about 10 minutes, but man, look, we're gonna be back next Saturday with some more people. We're not gonna tell you who they are, so you can show up. I guess we'll start our contest over again because we're gonna go back through our 4 weeks again. Any last, anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
Hey, Tony, I got to tell you something, man. Tava made a great decision putting you in a leadership position as a corporate trainer. I think, the wave of appreciation, the way the company is excited about it. These trainings are awesome. So I tip my hat to you. Salute you, brother. You're doing an awesome job. And proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Very proud of you.
You can tell I love this, man. So thank you.
Yeah, you looking like Steve Harvey out there. You know what I mean? You doing it, bro.
Y'all got any last? Tammy?
If I tell everybody, if I can say one thing, energy is everything. Keep it positive and make sure that you're edifying your sister and your brother.
Right. It's Leon.
Be mindful of the people that are out there looking for you, have their answer, and listen so that way you can give them a proper response and help them. That's
all right. Hey, look, these videos are loaded on the YouTube page. Go back to the Tava HQ YouTube page, watch them, share them, listen to them over and over and over. For the people who missed this training, it's also on Tava. I think it's on the Tava website also. But the YouTube is popping because we really need to get that going, because you can really share a lot through YouTube and really make it happen. So we're loading these on the YouTube page. Y'all go back and watch it, because repetition is key. You got to hear it over and over and over and then share it. So, all right, we out of here. My engineer, where's our music?
Gotta top it like style, give life. 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 Big grind from the night to the AM. Big grind, new multi-millionaires in the making. Multi-millionaire, big boss now, but it all took some patience. Real boss. Rockstar life spread well across the nation. Give one chance, you know what I do to it. Whole team get money and I'm used to it. Beat the odds and I'm still going used to it. Changing lives every day, you can YouTube it. Hold up, it's on when it's short. You know I stay down, stuck around for the glow up. And you can ask anybody around, yeah, they know us. We can't stop now, cause the grind is never over. Hey, you gotta top it lifestyle, give life. 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 To go top it lifestyle, turn my life round. Time out, told her hater pipe down. Top it lifestyle, turn my life round. Time out, told her hater pipe down. Hey, big grind from the night to the AM. Big grind, new multi-millionaires in the making. Multi-millionaire, big boss now, but it all took some patience. Rockstar life spread well across the nation. Lifestyle.